Hi guys, you're welcome to MJ Apparel tutorial. Today we'll be learning how to draft a perfect princess bustier using the freehand method. If you love what you see and you want to learn how to make this, please watch to the end. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and also drop a comment. Here I have my fabric laid on fold, and the width of the fabric is my bust divided by 4 plus 6 inch. Here I have 16 inch. So we're making it this way so that after taking out the darts and the allowances, everything will go into the space. Here I have 16 inch. The next I'm going to be doing is to insert my vertical measurement. But before then, I'm going to be drawing a straight line which will serve as a guide where I'll be starting my measurement from. This line here is going to serve as our starting point. Next, we are going to be inserting our vertical measurement, which is the shoulder to the bust point, shoulder to under bust, and shoulder to the half length. The shoulder to the under bust I'm using is 11.5. I'll be marking it at those points. The shoulder to the under bust is 14.5. I'll mark that here. And the shoulder to the half length I'm working with is 17. I'll repeat the same thing on this other side, after which I will draw a straight horizontal line. Here we have the bust point line, the under bust line, and the half length. Next, I'll be inserting my shoulder measurement on this line here. The shoulder measurement I'm using is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. I'll be marking the 7.5 at this point. I'll be coming down also to mark the same 7.5 so that I can draw a straight vertical line. This line here is going to serve as the armhole line. So next, I'll be taking out the shoulder slope, which is 1 inch. I'll be coming down by 1 inch at this point for the shoulder slope. And the neck width I'll be using is 3.5 inch. I'll be marking the neck width 3.5 inch. Then I'll connect that 3.5 inch to the 1 inch, which will serve as the shoulder slope because the shoulder is not straight. After doing this, the next thing I'll be doing is to take out my armhole depth, and the armhole depth I'll be using is 8 inch. So I'll mark the 8 inch from this one point. I'll mark the 8 inch, then I'll draw a line at those points. This line here is going to serve as the chest line. Next, I'll be inserting the bust span measurement, which is also called the nipple to nipple measurement. The bust span measurement I'm using is 8.5. Because we are cutting it on fold, we are going to be dividing it by 2. So 8.5 divided by 2 will give us 4.25. Because I'm cutting on my fabric directly, I'm going to be adding a sewing allowance of 0.5. So when you add it to the 4.25, you will get 4.75. So I'll be marking the 4.75 on my bust point line, and I'll be doing the same thing on the half length line. After marking, I'm going to be connecting the 2 points together using a straight line. So this line here is our nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 plus 0.5. Next thing we'll be doing is to tighten the underbust, that is, take out the underbust dart. I have a detailed video on how to calculate and know the amount of dart you would take when making a princess bustier for different sizes. I'll be dropping the link to that video in the description box. So if you don't know how to calculate or get the amount of dart you would take for the underbust, please watch that video. It's a very detailed video and you will understand better. But for this tutorial, I'm going to be using 2.5 for my underbust dart. I'll be marking the 2.5 on my underbust line and also on the half length line, after which I will draw a straight line. Then the next thing I'll be doing is to come down by 1 inch on the bust point line and connect to the underbust using a curve. Next, I'll be coming up by 1 inch on the bust point line, and we are doing this so that there will be room for the bust to fit in properly on the bustier. I'll mark this point, after which I'll be going over to my armhole to take out the armhole darts for the armhole tightening. In doing that, I'll be coming down by 3 inch from the shoulder slope line. I'll mark the 3 inch. After marking the 3 inch, I'll be taking out 1.5 inch for the armhole dart. To tighten the armhole, I'm going to be taking out 1.5 inch. I'll be marking the 1.5 inch below the 3 inch mark at this point. After marking, I'm going to be connecting this 3 point to 1 inch above the bust point line, and I will also mark the other 1.5 inch to 1 inch above the bust point line using a straight line. Next, we are going to be replacing the 1.5 inch we took out, because if we should leave it that way, our measurement is going to be short, and in doing that, I'm going to be going up by 1.5 inch on the lower line, after which I'll connect using a straight line. So we are doing this to avoid shortage when joining the sides to the middle. So after marking that point, next thing I'm going to be doing is to blend this curve here to avoid sharp edges. In doing that, I'll place my ruler this way and I will connect, making sure that every sharp point at that point is eliminated. After blending it, this is what we will be having. So next we'll be inserting the bust and the waist measurement on the half length, and in inserting the bust measurement we are going to be using the bust allocation method, which simply means the front and the back bust will not be the same because of the protrusion in the front bust. So I use this method to avoid this slant line on the side, because when you divide your bust by 4 and insert your waist measurement, after doing that you discover that you have a slant line on the side. To avoid that, you use the bust allocation method, and when you have this slant line on the side, you discover that when it comes to joining the front to the back, you will have some shortage and you will struggle to join the front to the back. So in using the allocation method, we are going to be using this formula. The first thing we'll be doing is to divide the bust by 2. So the bust I'm working with is 40 divided by 2, which is equals to 20. So we're going to be calculating for the front bust and the back bust. For the front bust, we are going to be dividing the 20 by 2 plus 1.5, which will give us 11.5. While for the back, it's going to be 20 divided by 2 minus 1.5, which is going to give us 8.5. So we'll be using 11.5 for the front bust and we'll be using 8.5 for the back bust. So this is done so that when it comes to joining the front to the back, it will be easier. You will not struggle to join the front to the back. Now we are going to be inserting that 11.5 on the chest line. So now I'll be marking the 11.5 on the chest line. Here we have the 11.5, and remember that we added 0.5 inch to the center part, so we are going to be adding the 0.5 inch so that we will not have shortage. This 0.5 is for joining the center to the side. So we'll mark the 0.5 inch, after which I'm going to be inserting my waist measurement on the waistline. The waist measurement I'm using is 34 divided by 4 is 8.5. So I'll be inserting the 8.5 on the half length line. I'm going to be marking it plus the 0.5 we added to the center part. After doing that, the 2.5 we took out for the waist that we are going to be replacing it on the side and mark. After marking, I'll be connecting the bust to the waist using a straight line. After connecting, this is what we have. As you can see, the line is going this way. If we had divided the bust by 4, we would have been having a line that is slanted going this way. To make the work easier, it's better to use the bust allocation method. Next, I'll be inserting my sewing allowance on the waist and on the bust. I'll be adding 2 inch sewing allowance on the waist and also on the bust. 0.5 will be used to join the center part, while the 1.5 will be used as my sewing allowance, after which I will connect the point together using a straight line. Next, I'll be drawing my armhole. First, I'll be connecting it to the main measurement. I'll connect it to the main measurement like this, after which I will use my hand to blend it to the sewing allowance like this. This is going to be the new armhole. The next we are going to be doing is to cut, but before that I'm going to be adding 0.5 inch sewing allowance on this part. I'll add 0.5 each at this part, and also on the upper part I'm going to be leaving this allowance I have here for joining to the shoulder and also to the waist. After cutting, this is what we are going to be having. We have 2 pieces on the side like this, and here we have the center part of the bustier. In the next video, we are going to be learning how to pad and sew the princess bustier. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next class.